Perfect.
Hey guys, and welcome to our first ever Halloween tutorial. I saw these bows at Party City and I thought they'd be the perfect Beetlejuice accessory. So I teased my hair, put those in, moisturized, and then covered myself in the palest, as well as the second palest, foundation in my collection. Taking the lightest concealer that I owned, I didn't really do anything special. I just highlighted those high points of my face like you would for a traditional beauty look, but ever so slightly and closer to death. I then went off camera and filled in my eyebrows with black, and we are going to be focusing on this green and purple cut crease look today for this video. So I've gotten into the habit of using liquid lipsticks in place of a traditional eye primer or a concealer as far as like prepping an eye for a dramatic look like this. For this one I picked up the NYX Liquid Suede in the color Alien, I believe. It's just the black, and I put it on the lower part of my mobile lid and then used my finger to kind of tap it out across that whole lid space. Now, to get a prettier gradient and a little bit softer of a line as opposed to that super harsh liquid lipstick line, I then did go in with a black eyeshadow and a packing brush, and I kind of stipple that color towards the edge of that liquid lipstick to kind of get it nice and evenly placed. And then using little sweeping motions, I kind of buff out that edge. I pretty much do that same thing with our next color. We're going to use this really rich purple color from the Juvia's Place Zulu palette, which is one of my favorites. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know that. Doing the same thing, like I said, you're going to tap that purple right on the edge of that black, making sure that they touch, and then you can blend that out using a thicker, fluffier brush. Sometimes this takes a little bit of work and a little bit of back and forth as far as, picking up more product and continuing to blend. You want a fine line between having that really pretty gradient because you don't want it to look super crazy, even though we're doing Beetlejuice and that's not like an everyday look anyways, but you don't want to lose the vibrancy of that shadow. And so I do find that after you blend out that first layer, it is easier to just go back in with more of that really rich shadow. Now, because I wanted to keep this look fairly round, I did drag both of those colors onto my lower lash line, and I did drag that purple especially down a lot farther than I would for a traditional beauty look because it's Halloween and we're Beetlejuice, and I don't know if you've seen the original makeup. I assume you have. But the original makeup was a little bit crazy pants. He definitely looked like a raccoon. So we too shall be a raccoon, but a purple one, which is cute. Okay, so let's talk about placement for a cut crease. It doesn't have to be the most perfect or even thing in the whole entire world because we are going to clean up our edges, but as far as the center of it goes, the easiest way to make that even is to take your paintbrush with your little bit of concealer, look straight ahead in the mirror, and then draw a line of concealer vertically going down like aligned with your pupil. I hope that makes sense. I decided that I wanted to use two of the brightest greens I own. One from that Zulu palette and then one from my radioactive stack from Milk Cosmetics. And you'll notice that I also took the liberty of popping that same neon green right in the inner corner of my eyeball just for some added drama. And here I am taking that black eyeshadow, blending out that edge so it's not quite as harsh. Although it looks like I mostly did that off camera, so pretend like you're watching me do that instead of just staring at the wrinkles in my forehead. Sorry. Off camera, I did go ahead and add mascara as well as some false lashes, and then the last bit of the eye look is going to be topping it with a bit of glitter from our BH Cosmetics. I honestly don't remember which one. I don't know, it's the all glitter palette I bought. It's real pretty. I like to sneak it into videos because it felt weird about buying it because I honestly didn't need all of these shimmers, so I'm gonna make sure I use them. Feel me? Feel me. Okay, let's talk about how we're gonna chisel this mug. So, Beetlejuice is not the most alive thing in the whole entire world. So we got to make sure that we have a little bit of like a sunken in appearance. Now, unfortunately for me, I have a super round face, and no matter how much weight I lose, I can't find my cheekbones. They are lost. You'll notice that I'm literally always making this little fish face, which is ridiculous, but it's the easiest way for me to find my cheekbones. Now, if you are like me and you have a really round face, a good reference point for you is going to be the top of your ear, and you don't want to bring it in any further than, say, like your pupil. So that's kind of the line that I used here. And I just used a gray shadow, preferably a matte one. Unless you're a shimmer kind of gal, you can use a shimmer. But we're just kind of hollowing out the parts of our face that would naturally recede either with age or, death. So that's going to be your cheeks, your temples, and a little bit of your forehead. And I think I ran it across my jaw as well. Okay, so I found this really pretty lavender eyeshadow and decided that our Beetlejuice needed a little bit of a glow. And so I used that in place of blush. And then I have this broken, but still gorgeous, prismatic amethyst highlighter from Becca. I popped that onto my cheeks and across the bridge of my nose, although I don't think I showed that part. And then because I felt like that green needed a little bit more of a moment, I popped that onto my cheeks as well. Partly as a highlight, partly just because I felt like it. And then I took that same color and dusted it around my lip line so that once we did put on a lipstick, it would look like it. I don't know if I was going for like radioactive, if I've just seen it one too many times in different videos. I was super into it. So as much as I love this lipstick, it was pretty much empty and was really hard to get the color payoff that I was looking for because I know how vibrant it can be. And I ended up covering it up in black later anyways when I did the grungy half of this look. But for now, this is what we got. Okay, now we're going to move on to the clothes. So there's nothing too fancy about the rhyme or reason for me doing this. I knew I was going to rough it up eventually, so I wasn't too concerned about streaks or making the base very seamless, just to preface this. But the first thing that I did do was take a white paint and kind of sketch out where I wanted my clothes to lay. I did kind of a big, thick, pointed collar and then made an undershirt as well as like blocked out the basics for where I wanted the stripes to go because you can't do Beetlejuice and not have stripes. It's kind of his thing. After that, I based those colors out. I didn't worry too much about the opacity of it. I knew that I would be distressing it and adding like different colors to kind of give it more depth later. So it didn't bother me if it was kind of streaky or haphazard at first. After you're done blocking in all of those colors, it is time for your detail work. Now, I love working with eyeshadows as a means of adding highlight and contour and shadows to my body paint. I find that they blend really well on top of each other, and it's how I learned how to do it based on watching other YouTube videos. So I'm just taking a mixture of a brown shadow as well as a black shadow and hitting all those points where I feel like the fabric is folded on top of each other or would in fact create a shadow. Then I'm taking a white body paint and I'm just making sure to hit those high points. So anywhere that I feel like light would really bounce off, like the white in particular, I'm making sure to crisp up those lines as well. You can tell it really adds a lot of dimension, especially to the collar. I stippled some of that white in, I don't know, just breaking up that color, making it look a little more lifelike. And then I wanted to add a bit of green since we have so much up top. And so I pretended like the seam of our jacket shirt type thing was green so that we did have that little pop here in the base of our outfit as well. In addition to playing with eyeshadow, I also love mixing in cream paints simply because I like the way that they blend and they overall look really nice as far as like shadows and highlights go on top of body paints. And so I took a big dry brush, and this is the Clown White color from Mayron, and I stippled that into different places of the shirt where I felt like light would really be reflected off the fabric. Okay, and that is it for Glam Beetlejuice. It was a lot of fun to do, but I couldn't just stop there, as it is the season for the spooky things. So, now that we are all glamified, we gotta get a little bit dirtier. To make us a little bit more grungy, I picked up a dry brush, a little bit of purple paint, that same color that we used in the shirt, as well as a little bit of that cream paint just to kind of mix it in and keep the consistency a little bit more wet. And I ran that just in random places over my face, my chin, and into the outfit. Basically, we were going for like bruised tones or like we've been dead a while. I don't know. I just kind of played with it. We just needed to be gross. And you can tell I was really thinking about being gross because I keep making this ugly face where I'm like, ew, gross, grunge. I'm trying to get into character. No big deal. So I didn't just grunge up my face. I also took some of those same colors and made sure to distress my outfit as well. You can see I'm popping some of that purple into the collar because it was too white for a dirty Beetlejuice, as well as into my neck. I picked up a few other colors. We did like brown because I thought that that looked nice and grungy and gross, and a little bit of black here and there too. And I just kind of like randomly chose places to put it like I'd been distressed or dead. I also dipped my fingertips into some brown eyeshadow and like messily ran that across the collar, into the face, wherever I saw fit. Okay, so now we're going to move on to my favorite part of this look, and actually one of the main reasons that I wanted to do a grungy Beetlejuice. So I have this alcohol activated tooth palette kit, which is specifically made to rot your teeth, or make it look like your teeth are rotted anyways. Now the way this works is first you have to make sure that your teeth are incredibly dry, otherwise the paint will not adhere to your actual teeth. They'll get stuck on the mucus or moisture in your mouth and it won't adhere. You can see I had a little bit of trouble here, but we don't need to talk about it. So you can wipe your teeth on a cloth, a paper towel. If you're working on an actor, I highly recommend just using your airbrush and drying their teeth like that. Have them grin and bear it as you spray, no paint, just air, onto their teeth before applying this paint. Now, this paint is made to last. It is safe to go in your mouth, and the best way to get it off is to brush your teeth, you know? So I kept my mouth open as long as I could so that paint could dry, and while I was waiting, I took a little bit more of that purple because I didn't feel like it was messy enough, and started really blending it out underneath my eyes, taking my brush as far down as like through my cheeks sometimes. Alright, and I did eat in between making myself glam Beetlejuice and making myself dirty Beetlejuice, and like I said, I was pretty much out of that purple lipstick, and so I went over it with a black. I kind of started applying it like normal, and then I was like, forget it. I just used my finger and made it messy as I could. And that is the final touch for this dirty Beetlejuice. I really could not get over the teeth. I thought about making it my new profile picture. Hey, how you doing? What's up? Okay, and that is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for checking out this video. You can keep the look pretty basic if you don't want to be disgusting, or if you don't have toothpaste, or if you just like really are turned off by it. I don't know. I'm feeling like this is my best self. So there's that. We'll see you in the next one. Bye and happy Halloween.